Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. First, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed after my first video. It's a big help and I'm glad you like my content. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get into this video. So we got this delivered yesterday. Inside here we have a Nintendo 3DS and we have a Game Boy Color in grape. Got this for a pretty good deal, picked it up for 60 quid, which is amazing for both of these two consoles. So let's get inside and have a look. So we've got the 3DS in blue here on the left, and we have the Game Boy Color in grape here on the right. Just to say, I have obviously opened this up before, just to check what was inside, but I haven't tested either of these two consoles. So first let's take out the 3DS and give that a test. Low on battery, but it is powering on. Just wait for that to load up and then we can test out the buttons and the analog stick, check they're all working. Cool, so the D-pad's working, which is good. Joy-Con's also working. Let's test some buttons. A's working, which is great. Just go to the back to the home screen. All the buttons seem to be working, which is great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this off for now because I've got some plans for this in a future video. So I'm just going to power this off and put this to the side. Now let's take a look at that Game Boy Color. Like I said before, this is the Game Boy Color in the colour grape. First glimpse, condition looks pretty good to be honest. No scratches on the screen, which is nice. Minimal wear around the D-pads and the buttons. Flip it around. Serial number's got a bit of wear. It's a little bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. Cartridge slot, a little bit of wear on here where the games get slid in and out. So it's obviously been a well-used Game Boy, but obviously well looked after because the condition's brilliant. Sticker looks perfect, and it's also got the Nintendo Service Center sticker, which I always love. The little Mario with a screwdriver on there. So let's just put this to the side. Let's have a look in here. Battery terminals, perfect, no corrosion at all. Let's get some batteries in this and see if it powers on. Just stick batteries in. Power this up. And great, powers up first time, which is good. Speakers working, that's good to see. What we do now is we're sticking a game. I've got Donkey Kong Land 2 here. Just stick that in, switch it on. Cartridge loads up first time, which is great. Let's just load up a game and I'll check if the buttons are all working properly. So B's a little bit stiff. A's very stiff, not working really. Very delayed. D-pad's working fine, start's working, select's working fine. But what we do is we'll switch this off, we'll take everything apart, we'll give it a clean up, and hopefully that will sort out these button issues. As I'm taking this apart, I'm going to give the shell a good clean up, all the buttons and all the internal components, give the board a good clean up and get this thing back to its former glory. Now we've got them 6 tri-wing screws out, we can take the back off and have a look at the state of this motherboard. Motherboard looks in pretty good shape to be fair, not a lot of grime, but let's take the whole thing out and have a look at the other side. So to take this out, we have 3 Phillips screws, here, here, and 1 behind the battery contacts. So let's take them out and look at the other side of the board. Now we've disconnected the motherboard, let's take it out, have a look at the other side. Other side looks in good shape to be fair, a little bit of dirt around the battery contacts, but we'll clean that up, have a look at that. Membranes look relatively clean, a little bit of dirt there. Let's have a look at the buttons. A little bit of dirt around the buttons, but honestly, this is a really clean Game Boy. But what we're going to do anyway is we're going to clean this shell and we're going to clean this board with some IPA. Easiest way to get these screens out is just twist the shell a little bit, So you hear a little cracking noise like that. That's just the adhesive releasing the screen. And then normally you can get your nail under the side of one of these and just take it out. And there we go, screen removed. Put that to the side, and then I'm going to put all of this in some hot soapy water and then start on the board. Before we put this in soapy water, we also need to remove the cartridge shield and the battery contacts. After giving the shell a nice little bubble bath, I then use a brush to clean down the exterior. This Game Boy was extremely clean for its age and was clearly looked after by the previous owner. Due to this, the shell didn't need too much attention. After cleaning the shell, I then focus on the motherboard. Here I'm using a new toothbrush and some isopropyl alcohol just to clean off the surface of the board. Minimal work was needed with the brush. As I explained before, this Game Boy was extremely clean for its age. I then use a Q-tip and some IPA to clean up the button contacts. I then drip some IPA into the power switch and use some tweezers to slide it back and forth to work out any dirt. I then complete a similar process for the volume wheel. Now the shell is dried off from its bath, I reinsert the screen and the other internal components. The motherboard can now be reunited with its housing. First, I put the ribbon cable in, then secure the latches on either side to hold the ribbon in place. Next, I insert the 3 Phillips screws to secure the motherboard. I then carry on to complete the rest of the rebuild. And there we go, guys, it's all back together. Game Boy's looking absolutely stunning, lovely and clean. Shame about the serial number here, but now the system looks spotless. I've given it a polish, looked absolutely lovely. Now let's stick a game in and see if them issues with the A and B buttons has been resolved. Game still loads up first time, that's great. Just skip through these menus and then we get into a little game with Donkey Kong and we can test out the buttons. A button's working there straight away. Yep, A's working there as well. Brilliantly, because A was really hard to press a minute ago, and now both A and B are working with the lightest touch, which is brilliant. Yeah, so it looks like this Game Boy's sorted out then, guys. All bonus barrel. There you go, complete the level already. Anyway, let's move on with the rest of the video. Hope you enjoyed this video on restoring this Game Boy back to its former glory. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, and it'd be great if you could subscribe. Nice one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.